There comes a time in life when you must ask yourself, why am I trying so hard to please everyone? Why do I smile when I don't mean it? Why do I say yes when every part of me wants to say no? We are told from a young age to be nice, to be agreeable, to never upset anyone. But let me tell you something, niceness is overrated. There is a difference between being kind and being nice. Kindness comes from strength. It means you help others without losing yourself. But niceness, it often comes from fear, the fear of rejection, the fear of not being liked, the fear of standing alone. And that fear is what makes people walk all over you. They expect you to always be available, to always say yes, to always put yourself last. But today, I want you to understand, you are not a doormat. Stop being nice at the cost of your peace. Stop saying yes when your soul screams no. Set boundaries. Learn to walk away from people who drain your energy. You do not exist to be liked by everyone. You exist to be respected, and respect starts with you. The world doesn't need more nice people, it needs real people. People who stand their ground. People who speak their truth. People who refuse to shrink themselves just to make others comfortable. So today I ask you, you ready to stop being nice? Are you ready to start being you? Kindness and niceness. Two words we often mistake for one another. Two words that seem to carry the same weight but could not be more different in how they shape our lives. We are told from childhood to be nice, to smile, to agree, to always say yes, to never disrupt, never question, never challenge, because nice people are liked, nice people are accepted, nice people are easy to be around. But what no one tells us is that nice people are also the ones who are most often used, overlooked, and left behind. Kindness, though it's different, kindness is not about pleasing others. It is about respecting others. But more importantly, it is about respecting yourself. A kind person is strong. A nice person often bends so much that they break. A kind person helps others, but does not allow themselves to be walked on. A nice person fears conflict so much that they swallow their words, silence their own needs, and put everyone else first until there is nothing left of them. How many times have you smiled when you didn't want to? How many times have you said yes when every part of you wanted to say no? How many times have you bitten your tongue, held back your tears, pretended to be okay just to make someone else comfortable? And the worst part? The more you do it, the more people expect it from you. You become the person who never complains, who never says no, who never asks for anything in return. And you wear that like a badge of honor, as if sacrificing yourself makes you more lovable. But in reality, it just makes you invisible. I know what it feels like to be afraid of disappointing people. I know what it's like to be afraid of rejection, of losing people, of being seen as selfish. But let me tell you this, the people who leave because you choose to stand up for yourself were never meant to stay. The people who only love you when you are useful to them never truly loved you in the first place. And the people who take advantage of your niceness, they will never stop until you stop them. Being kind means standing your ground. It means knowing when to give and when to walk away. It means being strong enough to say, I matter too. And when you start doing that, something incredible happens. The world stops seeing you as someone they can push around. They start respecting you, valuing you, treating you with the dignity you always deserve. Niceness is fear in disguise. But kindness is courage. It is strength, it is power. And the day you choose to be kind instead of just being nice, that is the day you take your power back. Setting boundaries is not about shutting people out. It's about letting the right ones in. It's about drawing a line. Not because you don't care, but because you care about yourself too. How many times have you said yes when you wanted to say no? How many times have you felt exhausted, drained, suffocated, yet still showed up because you didn't want to disappoint anyone? You tell yourself it's okay. You tell yourself you're just being nice. But deep down, you know. You know that every time you say yes when you don't mean it, a part of you disappears. A part of you shrinks. And the worst part, no one even notices. Because the world has become used to your silence. It has become used to your availability, your sacrifices, your willingness to put yourself last. They say, "Oh, you're such a nice person." But what they really mean is, you will never say no to me. You will never challenge me. You will never walk away. And that is not kindness. That is a cage. You teach people how to treat you by what you allow, what you accept, and what you let go of. If you always say yes, they will always ask for more. If you never complain, they will never stop taking. If you never walk away, they will never stop stepping over you. It's time to break that cycle. I know it's hard. You don't want to hurt anyone. You don't want to seem selfish. But let me tell you something. Putting yourself first is not selfish. It's necessary. When you set boundaries, people will resist. They will call you difficult. They will say you have changed. And you know what? They're right. Because you are changing. You are finally choosing yourself. And choosing yourself will upset those who benefited from your silence. It will feel uncomfortable. Your hands might shake the first time you say no. Your heart might race when you turn down something you don't want to do. But that discomfort, that is growth. That is power. You deserve relationships that don't make you feel guilty for choosing yourself. You deserve friendships that respect your time, your space, your energy. You deserve to be surrounded by people who don't just take but also give. So if you are tired, if you are overwhelmed, if you feel like you are drowning under the weight of everyone else's expectations, pause, breathe, and remind yourself you are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to say no. Because your peace, your happiness, your self-respect, they are worth more than anyone's temporary approval. There is a voice inside you, a voice that knows your truth, a voice that has been silenced for too long. You feel it, don't you? The hesitation before speaking, the fear of judgment, the constant worry. What if they don't like what I have to say? What if I offend someone? What if they walk away? And so you stay quiet. You nod when you don't agree. You laugh at jokes that don't amuse you. You say, "It's fine," even when it's not. And with every unspoken word, with every suppressed feeling, a small part of you fades away. But let me tell you something, your voice matters. Your thoughts, your opinions, your emotions, they matter. You were not put on this earth to blend in, to shrink yourself, to be agreeable at the cost of your own truth. You were meant to speak, to express, to stand tall in your beliefs. Yes, speaking your truth is scary. It makes you vulnerable. It exposes you. But what's the alternative? Living a life where you constantly betray yourself. A life where you are surrounded by people who love a version of you that doesn't even exist? I know what you're thinking. What if they don't accept me? What if they leave? But ask yourself, if I have to hide my truth to keep them, are they even worth keeping? You see, the right people, the ones who truly see you, who truly value you, they won't leave just because you are honest. They won't abandon you because you have a voice. In fact, the more you stand in your truth, the more you will attract the people who are meant to walk this journey with you. And those who walk away, let them. Because losing people is not the real loss. The real loss is losing yourself while trying to keep them. I want you to remember a time when you held something back, when you swallowed your words, when you bit your tongue, when you let the fear of being misunderstood keep you silent. How did it feel? Heavy, right? Like carrying a weight inside your chest, like suffocating in a room full of air. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine saying what you mean. Imagine expressing yourself without apology. Imagine the freedom of knowing that you are not responsible for how others perceive your truth. You are only responsible for honoring it. Power does not come from pleasing people. Power does not come from being agreeable. Power comes from standing in your truth, from speaking it with conviction, from refusing to dim your light to make others comfortable. And yes, there will be moments when your voice shakes, moments when your heart pounds, moments when fear whispers, maybe I should just stay quiet. But that is exactly when you must be the loudest. That is exactly when you must remind yourself, I am not here to live a life of silence. I am here to live a life of truth. Respecting yourself is not a choice, it is a necessity. It is the foundation upon which everything in your life is built. The way you see yourself, the way you treat yourself, the way you allow others to treat you, it all begins with self-respect. Yet so many of us spend our lives seeking validation from others, bending over backward just to be accepted, just to be loved. But tell me, at what cost? How many times have you swallowed your words because you didn't want to upset someone? How many times have you agreed to something that made you uncomfortable just to keep the peace? How many times have you placed someone else's happiness above your own, thinking that's what it means to be a good person? And after all of that, did they respect you for it? Or did they simply take more? Respect is not something you beg for. It is not something you earn by being overly nice, overly available, overly selfless. Respect is something you command not through words, not through demands, but through the way you carry yourself, through the standards you set, through the way you refuse to accept anything less than what you deserve. But here's the truth that no one tells you. People will only respect you as much as you respect yourself. If you allow them to take advantage of you, they will. If you allow them to cross your boundaries, they will. If you keep prioritizing them while neglecting yourself, they will let you. Because the world doesn't stop to check if you're okay. It only watches how you treat yourself and follows your lead. And yet we hesitate. We hesitate to put ourselves first because we fear being called selfish. We fear losing people. We fear disappointing others. But let me ask you, when did your well-being become less important than someone else's expectations? When did your dreams, your happiness, your peace become second to someone else's convenience? It's time to stop apologizing for valuing yourself. Stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. Stop saying yes out of guilt when your heart is screaming no. Start listening to that voice inside you, the one that knows what you deserve, the one that's tired of settling, the one that's been waiting for you to finally stand up and say, enough. Because when you respect yourself, something shifts. You no longer tolerate toxic people. You no longer chase after love that isn't freely given. You no longer accept apologies without changed behavior. You no longer seek validation from those who don't even value you. And suddenly, the world sees you differently. People start treating you with the respect you always deserved. Not because they suddenly changed, but because you did. Because you stopped settling. Because you started showing up for yourself. Because you finally realized you were never too much. You were never asking for too much. You were simply giving too much to people who never deserved it in the first place. Be fearless, not just in words, but in action. Not just when the world is watching, but in the moments when you are alone with your thoughts, battling your own doubts. Fear is a chain that keeps you tied to a version of yourself that is smaller than who you are meant to be. It whispers in your ear, telling you to stay quiet, to stay comfortable, to stay in places where you are accepted but not respected. And if you listen to it for too long, you start believing that shrinking yourself is the only way to survive. But I want you to understand something. Fear is nothing but a story. A story that you keep telling yourself over and over again until it feels like the truth. It tells you that if you speak your mind, people will leave. That if you say no, you will lose their love. That if you show the world who you truly are, you will stand alone. But the real question is, what kind of love, what kind of acceptance, what kind of belonging do you truly want? The one that demands you to be someone you're not, or the one that embraces you for who you are? There will be moments when your hands will shake, your voice will tremble, and your heart will pound in your chest. Moments when fear will try to pull you back into the shadows. In those moments, remind yourself, you were not born to live in fear. You were not created to be silent. You were not sent into this world to play small. You have fire in your soul. You have a voice that matters. You have dreams that deserve to be pursued without hesitation, without apology, without waiting for permission. People will tell you to be careful. They will tell you to lower your voice, to soften your opinions, to avoid standing out too much. They will say it's for your own good. But deep down, you know the truth. Playing it safe has never changed the world. Playing it safe has never created anything extraordinary. Playing it safe has never brought anyone closer to their purpose. You don't need to be reckless, but you do need to be brave. You do need to stop waiting for the right time, for the perfect moment, for someone to tell you that you are ready. You are ready now. You will face rejection. You will face criticism. You will lose people who only loved you when you were easy to control. But let them go. Let them walk away. Because the people who are meant for you, the ones who truly see you, will never ask you to be less than what you are. They will celebrate your fire. They will respect your courage. They will admire the way you refuse to settle for a life that is anything less than what you deserve. Fear will always be there. It will always try to hold you back. But you are stronger. You are braver. And the moment you choose to be fearless, truly fearless, you will realize that nothing in this world can stop you.